we're spending a lot of time focusing on what we need to do better, but let's not be naive. I mean, I'm excited. There's a rivalry, and it means a lot to the fan base, the state, and the guys know it. We got a couple guys from Oklahoma that have talked about it. So, I can say all those things and like, oh yeah, we are spending a lot of time focusing on what we need to do to get better. But make no mistake, both programs know that it's a rivalry game, and I'm looking forward to being a part of it.
Getting a chance to look back at film, just your thoughts on the rebounding on Monday night, and how do you fix that as a coach? What do you focus on to try to just fix that?
It's got to be a shared responsibility. You just don't look at your post players. I mean, it's got to be everybody. Guards got to rebound down. You got to be a high rebound per minute guy. You can't play 26 minutes and have one rebound. We all got to be high rebound per minute guys, and it's a shared responsibility. It's one thing, about the box out. It's the biggest part of the box out is that you got to release and go get it. And so, we've done some stuff in the past. We've talked about, we put the bubble on where you assume every shot's missed. But I know there's times, in this league where we're physically, other teams are bigger and longer and more athletic, but it doesn't mean you can't box out and go release and go get it. And we've done it. But we didn't do it the other night, and we sure as heck got to do it against Oklahoma State. They're an elite offensive rebounding team.
One final question, midway through the conference schedule, and you've mentioned it before, a lot of opportunities ahead of you guys. I mean, just the focus, one game at a time, and taking advantage of these opportunities, like Saturday's an opportunity game. Just the importance of that and what you stress upon your team about that.
Well, I think they know the stakes. We've talked about it. I mean, they've talked about it, that we're chasing different things, but every game is going to be most likely a quad one opportunity. So there is exactly what you said. There's a lot of opportunity, but you also can't just focus in on that. You got to focus in on what you have to do to get that win. And, we've had issues taking care of the ball. We had one rebounding last game. We got to knock down shots, so we're focusing on that. We've got to get a lot of shots in practice. I think we're moving the ball. We gotta step in and make some shots, but the guys are aware there's a lot of opportunities, a lot of basketball left.
Porter, thanks a bunch. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yep.
Justin Martinez.
Porter, appreciate you taking time to talk to us today. I just want to ask you about Jordan Goldwater. Last two games specifically, it feels like he's been playing with a really good pace. I think he's averaging 16 points, 4 assists, only 1 turnover. What have you seen out of him lately in terms of just kind of being that guy who's the driving force for you guys?
You said the word, Justin, pace. I think he's playing with a good pace. He's changing speeds. Sometimes he gets going too fast, and you can't take advantage of what you don't see. It's a great line, a great lesson. You can't take advantage of what you don't see. And sometimes when you get your head down and go, that's where we get some of those sped up turnovers. I think he's playing with a good pace. He's going up and he's changing gears. He's got a tremendous gear when he starts going north-south. And he's seeing the thing and he's passing, his turnovers are down. So I like his pace, and we're definitely better when he's taking care of the ball and he's playing with that kind of purpose.
Yes, thinking with guards, I want to ask you about Bijan also. Just what do you think is the biggest difference you've seen from him from day one when you first got your hands on him to right now?
Just I would say comfortability. I think sometimes freshmen, and he's included, that you don't know what to expect, and you're thinking a lot, and you don't know what to expect. You don't know the daily grind of being a college student, of being a college basketball player, of how much demands are on your time. I just think he's getting comfortable with the routine of being a college student athlete and being in a system and knowing what to expect. I think sometimes not knowing what to expect causes a little hesitancy a lot of times. Not just him, but a lot of times. You don't know what to expect, so you're kind of, how's it going to go down? How's the game? And I think now he's got some comfortability. He knows, he's comfortable when he gets in the game. He knows what this level's about. He knows his daily routine. I think he knows what we expect in practice. And I just see a comfortability that he knows what to expect.
Appreciate it, Porter.
Yeah.
Bob Pierce-Billow.
Porter, you've mentioned time and time again, you're not worried about losing the team, but what's been the key to making sure they don't get discouraged during a funk like this?
Because it's crazy. Like, our net is still right there in striking distance. I mean, I have some friends in this profession I've talked to, their net's like 240 or 160 or even 90. There's a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do to get in, but man, we have so much to play for. I mean, yes, we're on incredible. Every game is just high level, but there's opportunity. We keep focusing in on our process, and our process is keep chasing, getting better. Keep chasing, keep getting better. And when you focus on that process, there's no time to get down and sad. You got to get past all that, and you got to be focused on what we're chasing. And we're chasing our best selves. We're chasing an NCAA tournament berth. We're chasing, to move up in this conference standings. We're chasing all that, and there's a lot to play for. And we're not one of those teams that don't have a lot to play for and are hanging it up. We are the polar opposite. We got a lot to play for.
And then how tough would it be to be in the position of the Cowboys where you can't play in the Big 12, can't play NCAA tournament? And what does that say about Mike Boynton with the way he's gotten the most out of those guys despite what they're going through?
That was exactly what I was going to say. Is I've watched them now play a ton of games, especially on tape, but it has to be so hard because that's what we all playing for. You're all playing for March. You're all playing for the big dance. You're all playing for that. And for them to get that taken away when it wasn't these young student athletes' fault, because sometimes in life, even if it's not your fault, you're just like, man, that's not my fault. These kids are playing so hard. I mean, they play hard, they compete. And you just got to give Mike, his staff, those student athletes just a ton of credit for how well they're doing and they play really hard.
Appreciate it, Porter.
Jesse Crittenden.
Hey, Porter, I appreciate your time today. Just want to ask, obviously, last week was kind of crazy for you guys going to West Virginia, then going to Auburn, then a quick turnaround against TCU on Monday. You guys were able to have a few days off before tomorrow's game. I mean, what is those few days like kind of following a road trip and, quick games like that? And is there a focus on recovery after trips like that?
There was a huge focus on recovery mentally as well as physically. You're on that road trip, you're just locked in on West Virginia, and you go straight to Auburn, you're on the road, you're trying to do some academics, but you're as well as the scout. And then you come home and you land after that Auburn game and you're diving right in with a Sunday prep for that Monday game. So physically, they were physically sore, and also mentally. We literally haven't had 2 days off since before Christmas when we ended Christmas break and went on like the 22nd to the 26th break. We haven't had 2 days off since there. It's only been 1 day. And some days, those 1 day, they got school. Some days that 1 day off might be a Wednesday and they still got school. So mentally, I think it really recharged them, helped them. And then as well as physically to get a lot of the bumps and bruises and stuff like that of a grind like that. So it was much needed. And you hope it pays off. You hope giving them 2 days off, because trust me, I wanted to be in that gym practicing. Every bone of my assistants were pulling at me like, we got to do this. And I'm glad we did. But I feel like I was sitting there and Rick Majerus, me and him were sitting there talking because Rick wanted to practice every day. He hated the new NCAA rule saying he had to give a day off.
For more information, you can visit tulsaworld.com.